Alright. Calm down.
When you look at it, we have a lot of unmarried sisters.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready?
Hold on. Are y'all ready?
Are y'all ready? Order in court. Hey.
We didn't know y'all was ready.
Hold on. Before we go on,
I'm sorry.
I just want to say something, right? Because I feel all your pains here. And I know you don't have no pains. It's never got no pains.
I believe in the law.
Yeah, right. What I mean is this.
No. I said all do.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Why do women take everything personal?
Not that we don't. I'm eternally grateful.
All right.
Listen. But what I mean is, right? So, like you said, it's the exception, not the rule, right? I challenge that because if you read any book of fiqh, Maliki, Hanafi, Hanbali, Shafi, any book, you'll never see, if you go to the chapter on polygamy, it only talks about rights and being just. Because it's not an exception. It's assumed that people already have that. And the case, one of the proofs that I use, this is what one of my teachers taught me. He said, if you just look in today's society, right? Just our society. Most of our women and our men are already in polygamous relationships. They just aren't legal. Because men are married or have a girlfriend, they still mess with their baby mom and the other girl down the street. And the point of Islam, why are you looking like that? Why you damn? The whole point of Islam was to come to purify our dealings, not to make it hard for us. We don't ever want to keep it real and admit exactly what our community is. And
I do.
Right.
Yeah, I know you do, but a lot of us don't. And I've been there. When I say I don't want to deal with it no more, that's only because I don't want the headache no more. Like I went through all of that, and I thought I had good intentions, and matter of fact, I think I did have good intentions. But
it's difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. You know what I mean? Because I'm a softie and I care about people's feelings, even though people say I don't. I really do. So I can't deal with all that nonsense. You know what I mean? But you know, if you really think about it, there's so many situations out here, right? And there just aren't enough Muslim men who are, you know, like if you find a good Muslim man at 30 or 40 years old, he should be married. If he's not married, then what is he doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's something to think about.
Okay, because you say, but it's you can say all of the books and things. What does Quran say? What does the law say?
Hold on. The books of fiqh is from the Quran.
Well, why are we reverting from what the law says in Quran to the books of fiqh? Because in the Quran it says, if you must, right, take on, you know, these appetites. Whatever.
Appetite?
Okay. Because it is an appetite. I'm going to say that because, let me say this because you just said it yourself. You know, most brothers, this is one of the reversals. Most brothers get into this for the wrong reasons, okay?
What's the right reason?
The wrong reasons are what you just said. You said, I care about people and it was a headache for me. But you got to take that good with that bad because there's the balance, right? But here's the thing. It says one is better for you, and we always leave that out. If you only but knew. They leave that out.
What verse is it?
That's what about.
But it only says
one is better. You could have up to 4 wives, but it's best that you have one if you but knew.
Yes.
He's talking about it being a headache.
Huh?
He said, no, listen, wait, let me say this.
And that's
wait.
English now.
Let me tell y'all something, right?
It's given an option of both. You can have one or you can have up to 4.
Wait, let me say something to y'all, right?
You should be just and
listen, this is the problem with when y'all do that, right?
When's y'all?
Women. Okay. Right? When y'all see a verse that's related to polygamy, you have to home in on all the verses that's related to polygamy, and then get a ruling. You get it? Because it's one that say that, and another one that's saying something else like that. You take all of them together, and then that gives you. That's how fiqh works.
Okay.
That's how fiqh extracts the rulings from the Quran. It brings them all together. That's related to polygamy, and then it forms it into fit. Like this is how you treat your wife. This the criteria like that.
Taking 5.
Cause I have fit too. I feel thick and but I'm just saying that to say that,
No, I'm saying that to say people can't just read one verse and think that's what it is. Why? Wait, let me give you an example why. Because there's a verse in the Quran, the Surah Al-Tawbah, the 9th surah, where Allah say what? If wherever you find an infidels, what? Kill them and slay them.
Yeah.
Is that taken in the general sense?
No.
What does the verse say after that? And what does the verse say before that? That's what I'm saying. Like, so the same way you could use that verse, someone else could use it to do something else with it. But you got to home in all the verses that's related to kitab, jihad. You get it, and then give the ruling.
And that's the reason why we have fit.
Just said it's conditions.
Yeah.
You said, and like the sister said, you know, some people are using it just to satisfy their appetites. I'm not disclaiming that.
You know,
but then I think that some people, it's become a necessity. Like
I was going to say that.
It's become a necessity because you have, like you said, when you have it's a lot of 30 to 40 that are not married, and you have a lot of women out here that are unmarried and no longer want to be single, and you want to leave them to whatever knives or whims they had, and that, you know, is that what you want? If you have a good husband,
That's the history though, hasn't it always been like that with
but we gotta be
women?
But like he said, when you're in a situation where you can afford it and you can mentally be, you know, stable and you can do it, then go ahead and do it. Like, we got to get out of our way of saying, you know, what has happened in our culture for the last such and such and such a years. I recognize that fully to its extent. But then we also, you know, our first thing, we're Muslim. And so, and that's how we should combat any situation that we have with Islam first. You know what I mean? So, like,
honestly, I think that, and I'm being real, I think that polygamy is a good thing, and I'm gonna tell you why. There's always times when y'all get on each other's nerves. So the weeks that, or the days or whatever, because the man, because basically he's the one that's running around like a chicken with a neck off. The women aren't. We really, and so that when he's good, you know, I'm good. Make sure everything is right.
I don't agree with that at all.
That's how I feel.
Soon as a brother say,
and it was very stressful for him.
He's considering another wife, who's the chicken running around?
I don't care.
It ain't them. It's the sisters.
I just.
All right, moving on. Moving on.
Well, you know, maybe I was felt like that 20 years ago, but right now, I don't feel that way.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Got a lot of questions. I'm stuck on this one. All right, the brothers want answers on these questions.
Are you gonna erase that?
All right, why can't women understand that it's completely possible for a man to be thinking of absolutely nothing?
What?
I believe they can.
Yeah,
Why y'all can't believe that? Why y'all
I believe.
I know you do like that. I know you doing
That's what that one brother's going through.
Somebody's going through something because I mean, and my thing is this, maybe we need to grow up because I'm not going to sit there and keep saying, well, what you thinking about?
All right, y'all ready for this one?
That's like, come on.
Listen.
He might want to invest in counseling.
Why is it that women get automatically suspicious if a husband starts laughing at something he sees online?
we would have laughed too. We're not suspicious, right? We're not suspicious. We would have laughed too.
We gotta laugh together. Man, nigga can't laugh. He can't have his own laugh.
Honestly,
It's young and old.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff.
someone cooking.
This is what I want to know from all y'all. This is what I want to
Let me just say this, right? The suspicion comes in when someone has given someone reason to be suspicious.
Okay.
Even though we know we should not be suspicious,
But I said I'm
there
sorry.
has been a reason why
That person made
that person has become suspicious.
I said sorry.
This is what I want to know.
I mean, if you
Somebody
looking at something
posted.
on the
Somebody
internet-
gave me this question, but I would love to know this. Right, this one. Why is it that women can't just go inside the store and come out with what they went in to get? I hate that.
I don't know. I'm a victim of that.
All of us are. All of us
The women are the ones that really run the whole thing. The marriage, the house, everything. So when they go in the store, they go in there with a concept, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna get this, and that. And when they get in the store and they see some other stuff, be like, hold up.
That's
We
what
need
I'm saying.
I need this.
And I'll say this, right? We always have someone else on our mind to
Alright.
please.
This is from-
as far as the household is
This one was
concerned.
from
Right.
this one is from Anonymous. Okay. And it said that why do women think that wearing matching outfits is cute?
I don't know about matching outfits, but we know what I
Why
think.
do women think that wearing matching outfits is cute? Matching outfits are cute.
Oh, I think that's cute.
That must be a young thing.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Well, I tell you, you probably agree with me on this one. Next one. Why are women's thermostats off? They're either too hot or too cold when the temperature is
Okay,
fine.
excuse me, then this man doesn't know the female anatomy.
No, this is real.
Yes, because you don't know the
What's going on?
We could be in the same bed and we could be one temperature and I
All right, I'm
could
gonna ask that question with a
Well,
question.
because of the ages of some of us.
I'm gonna ask that question.
It's real. Alright? It's real.
And not even that, but when I get really just hot, I start really depend on
be. You know what I'm saying? Alright, he said,
It's called menopause.
But Tamika could say it.
I think that it all depends on, what's going on, because sometimes, like, when I get really angry or something, I start to get hot, I start to sweat, and other than that, 9 times out of 10, I'm cold. My feet might be cold, the rest of my body is cold. It all depends.
But it's that, listen, but when you're a certain age, it's natural.
I mean,
At a certain age, it's called menopause.
they said, why does it take a woman 30 minutes to do a job that's 10 minutes?
Because we like to make it sure it's right. And we're gonna take our time.
I don't know. I'm ready to take it.
In an argument, why can't women understand most men have a 10-minute attention span when it comes to going back and forth?
Psychology says 7. Sorry.
I was on 3.
Yeah, I was going to say 3 before they started to lose interest.
Alright, it says, why can't women understand that just because you want to be alone doesn't mean that you don't want anything to do with them?
Women are emotional, men are physical. So sometimes if a man is saying, I just don't want to be bothered, we're emotional. We may get offended.
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it, I mean.
I believe in giving people their space because I'm
What are you
more
talking
like,
about? I want my space.
I want my space. So
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a problem with you getting your space, but don't tell me you don't want to be bothered. Just say, can I? And you're gonna have to say it in a way that it's gonna make me offended.
So you gonna force him to do what you
I'm not gonna force him to do anything, but it's a way that you say things.
That's what you just said. You gonna do it like I say do it.
No, you're gonna just
Basically,
say.
if you married, your husband knows what you like and what you don't like.
I mean, but
So he'll know what to say and how
I'm
to
not
say
gonna
it.
force him to say what I want him to. No, I'm not. I'm just don't be nasty when you tell me you need your little 10 minutes or whatever. It's okay, cause
But
I'm
what
not
if I'm
gonna
having a bad day and I am
And you
that?
should be able to polite enough say,
Hold
baby,
on,
I'm
hold on,
having
hold on.
baby, I'm
What
having
if
a
I'm
rough
having a
day.
bad- No,
Let me have my
Just
time.
like
You're not supposed to
if
be
you're
different.
venting, you should be able to say, listen, I don't need an answer right now. I just need to vent.
There you go. That's it. So then
So-
say that. So that's exactly what she was saying. You was trying to tell her
Remember
how
the
people
question that
interpret
came up
it.
was just,
It goes back to
you know,
me
but sometimes I just want to vent.
But that's not what she
Well,
was
give us a
saying.
warning.
You took it a whole
No,
nother way. In the way
I
she
don't
was
want to
saying.
answer.
But that's not
Didn't
what
you
she
just
was
do it
saying.
vice versa?
He did do it vice versa.
So men do it too. Okay, go ahead.
They said, why women never apologize?
I always do.
We do.
No, you don't.
I don't.
Yes, we do.
Let me say this.
I don't like
He's
Some
right.
strange reason.
We do.
I don't.
It's not lying.
Absolutely. I'm not going to apologize for
I
something. That's your
apologize, but not
opinion.
right then. I gotta calm down before I apologize. But
Alright, everybody don't speak at once because they ain't gonna catch that.
Okay.
I go with those two sisters.
Go ahead.
She said, go ahead, say yours again.
If I'll apologize if I'm wrong. But if I know that I'm right about something, I'm not apologizing.
What if you got the mind frame that you think that you
And I have-
always right? What if you had that
Well,
mind
men
frame?
think that we think we always right anyway.
Well, that's
but
why
men
you-
always think that they're always
But that's why
right
you
too.
calm down, because when you calm down, you're in a clear state of mind.
But even in that case,
I think it's best to open phone.
You don't
You gotta
apologize.
calm down, and then I apologize right then. If I'm in the heat of the moment, no, you're not
All
getting it.
right, why do women always have to be right?
Women don't.
Most of the time we are, for real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real. Women don't speak on, well, most women will not speak on something unless they know they are right because they want to be right. So they won't even speak on it if they're not.
But how about this? The men will not acknowledge that you are right.
Exactly.
And I just said that when the fuck, now listen, and it's true because my husband just called me on something. Just that's how come I had to go outside, and he wanted to be right, but he's not right, and he knows he's not right. And no sooner than I leave, I can't wait to get home. I can't even focus right now.
Alright, so this is,
He knows that he was dead wrong.
he said, why do women think the man knows where they displace things? Why do y'all think that we know where y'all displace things?
We just ask
Y'all know
for
everything
help.
else.
No, like say something is in your area. I never go in your area. But then you're like, well, where's my comb? I said, I've never been over
It's
there.
rhetorical.
If you say I don't know, then you cut your attitude. Like,
Again, these
Like
they
what?
have
I said I don't know.
now, you know.
Well, they all young, so they all have to
Well,
learn.
y'all supposed to be helping each other anyway, because if you know, like.
No, that's not the point. The point is, you got a set area where your stuff is at, right? And you say, did you see my comb? I said, no, I never seen your comb. I don't even go in your area where your stuff is at.
Yeah.
But don't take it personally.
You see how your wife is looking at you?
Oh no, I know he don't know where anything is. I'm just saying.
And my husband with nothing. I always had to say, do we live in the same house?
Exactly.
Because don't you live there, you don't know where it's at.
Because we
doesn't
think
know where
about other
anything is.
things.
This is the house.
I don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. He didn't say nothing. All
He doesn't even know
right.
where his own stuff is.
Why, when a man is interested, the woman doesn't pursue the man?
Say that again?
Why, when a man, this is from Anonymous, why, when a man is interested, right, the woman doesn't pursue the man?
If he's
Well, how would she
interested,
know
why
he's
should
interested?
If he's
Why, when
interested,
the
why?
woman is interested, she doesn't pursue the man?
Oh,
say that,
oh,
okay.
You
okay.
didn't say that just a second ago. I'm just saying.
I'm not one to do.
She don't want to get shut down.
So I don't know.
She don't
I'm not
want to get
one
shut
to do.
down.
That's how they feel. They feel a sense of
So then
rejection.
everybody just sit up there wanting each other and nobody she's
No, let me tell you something. Like a comedian said, a comedian said, when was the last time an ugly woman went up to a man and said, you know, can I get your number? And so the whole audience said, quiet, never. They said, when was the last time an ugly man went up to a woman and said, can I get your number? Every day. I think sometimes men have more courage in that.
No, the thing is that this lady knows she liked this man, but she never pursued a man.
I just said the men have more courage. Like men who like women, they have the courage to go up to that woman and they have the courage to get the let down and everything else. With women,
We're not
we
doing
like
this.
And I'm gonna add something else in there. I'm gonna add something else in there. though. Sometimes women, if they do like a man, they have ways of letting him know so
Listen,
that income.
this next question, I deal with this a lot with some of the people I know. I don't think it's fair, but it happens all the time. And it's why women carry their problems from their previous relationship into the next relationship. And I don't think that's fair to the next man.
It's not.
It's not fair.
It's not, and they didn't deal with it. I think after every relationship, you need some self-reflection time. So you
Probably
can,
some counseling too.
right.
So
you
they
can,
measure the man based on the previous things that they did, and they give him a hard time.
But our experiences is what shapes us. So I mean, we do all understand that. So even if I have experience, it's not going to define me, but it's going to become a part of who I am.
And then if you do something
Because
similar
the defense
to what the last
mechanisms come
person
up
did,
again.
that triggers. It's a
You
trigger.
gotta
like,
protect
do
yourself
something.
from it happening again.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair though. And men
It's
do
not
it too.
fair,
I mean, whether it's man or woman,
Right,
that
they
should
both
be done.
do it. They do.
We definitely do it.
Yeah.
Why women don't make a man feel special like they want to feel special?
That's gay.
I didn't answer that one.
Now listen,
A lot of
y'all.
things going on.
Now, my husband and our anniversary is tomorrow. Okay, 19 years tomorrow. So he said, I said, oh, what am I getting? And he said, well, what you gonna get me, Wahid? I was like, oh, you gonna yeah. But I was gonna get him something, but it was just strange that he was like, you keep screaming about what you want. What you getting me? And I never thought about that. The men look for stuff, even though I was gonna give him something anyway. I always give him something. But I just was like, I didn't know he thought about it. He never mentioned it till today.
So why women don't tell a man how she feels, but instead they expect the man to just know?
He can't just know.
No, they do that.
How? A woman don't tell a man how she feels?
Yeah, but she expects him to know those things. Just automatically he supposed to know these things.
I don't know, because I have to tell how I feel. If not, it'll eat me up.
And that's when y'all call us a smart mouth.
Yeah. Smart mouth comes in with that.
Because it might not be I love you.
I don't know. I have to express myself, because if I don't, it's going to be a problem.
Because you're not going to really know how
Because
to
let me say this, see, the men hate that talk. When you start saying we need to talk, because I need to tell you something, they be like, oh man, I'm saying talk. Why do you know what to talk?
I gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it. They really don't. You don't really want to hear it when we express ourselves. Because the first thing they say,
right,
she want to talk.
But can I? No, let me add on to that though. When a woman says how she feels, we expect you to act on it as well.
Exactly.
And sometimes if we put it out there and you don't act on it, then we're feeling like we're being ignored. So then it has to be like a change that happens when I tell you how I feel.
Instead, right, or I'm going to stop telling you. Or I'm going to stop telling you.
Back and forth.
I stop telling you, I'm
And
just
once I
like,
stop telling you, you're fine. And then it goes back to, I can't keep telling you how to treat me.
Yes.
right.
If you expect me.
Mr. King, you're getting ready to go to the car.
Alright, so why do women, and say why women be insecure even though the man tell them that they are beautiful every day? Why women so insecure?
It's just so again, I can't answer.
I've never been an insecure woman, so I can't answer
A man can't make you beautiful if you don't already feel like you're beautiful yourself.
Yeah, man should define who you are.
Absolutely, that's definitely yourself.
Why do women take shahada for men?
Again, I can't answer.
I can't answer that either.
But would they take you how to for him to that?
Yeah, I do. I know a few. I mean, it's a sad situation, but needless to say, I know a few sisters who rushed to take their shahada for the strength of being in a relationship with a Muslim man because they didn't want to feel like they was want to be bullied into going to the masjid not being covered or going to the masjid not being Muslim and open to learn. So they feel like they had to expedite the situation and took their shahada on the strength to be with a Muslim man. And as soon as the relationship or he's no longer their intendant works out, then off come the kimar and off come the thing, and then.
All right, so why with that case, why judge the religion and not the man?
Absolutely, that's very true. But that goes back to being to them and not being for submission, and I'm taking it strictly for the sake of Allah. See, that's the problem. If they're doing it for that man, then as soon as the relationship over, so is what they call their religion as far as practicing. Because you're still Muslim.
But also, it's always the rule is that, you know, that's why we're not supposed to marry outside of our religion and what we, you know, as Muslims, because the men are always supposed to be the ones that influence the females. And so that pretty much would answer that question.
How about another question back? Why do men be chasing the non-women?
Wait till we have the men sit down, and then we'll ask them.
Why y'all coming on this side?
It said what? All right, I want each one of y'all to answer this individually. Okay. What is your major concern about men?
I can answer that right now. I don't have any major concerns. Y'all, y'all do what y'all do. Y'all are who y'all are, and that's how y'all gonna be.
Sister Delray. I want Sister Delray to say something.
My major concern with men is I wish they would be more transparent.
Oh, well, wait a minute, yes.
All right, elaborate.
As far as withholding honesty, thinking it will hurt our feelings. I would rather you be brutally honest than to hide something just to not hurt my feelings.
I agree with Sister Deborah.
Yeah, because if I gotta find out without you telling me,
it's not good.
That's the betrayal.
It ain't good.
That's the betrayal.
And that'll make me look at you some type of way. Now I'm starting to hate you. Like, that's out.
And men say that women can't handle the truth. Like you ask for it, you can't handle it. I can handle it, but you gotta allow me to process it the way I want to process it. Because I'm going to get emotional about it, or I might want to, kick something about it. Doesn't mean I can't handle it, but I deserve it. Like I deserve it.
So what's women's main concern about men? I mean, not the concern. What do y'all expect from men?
Truthfulness.
That's it.
Honesty, respect.
So the main problem is men not being
honest.
All right, so we got that. Do you feel men are obligated to cook?
Prophet Muhammad said he can cook.
Now let's see can cook better.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Because it depends on what it is. Like I had,
if he can cook better than they go ahead
for Christmas.
Said why women don't listen to the man like they want to be listened to.
What you mean? That we don't listen?
Say it one more
like
time.
y'all want to be listened to.
What's the question?
Meaning if I'm trying to have a conversation with you, you ain't paying attention. But if you trying to have a conversation with me, you want me to pay attention. You get it?
I'll listen. I'll sit and listen.
Women are stuck for that one, huh?
Yeah, but brothers always want a minute. They don't want to talk. They got thought thing going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
and I'm not sure.
Y'all take too long to get it out, so we gotta keep on going.
Well, this is good. Listen. This is good. This might not apply to some of y'all. It's like, why do women idolize celebrity relationships?
I don't.
I don't know nothing about that.
And again, these are young men that these conversations.
They have to be.
They want to be like Beyonce and Jay-Z, like love and hip hop.
See, I don't even watch
They can make a thousand about a calendar. That's about the best thing to do for me.
Yeah, that ain't me.
This one y'all ain't gonna like. I'm telling you. This one y'all not gonna like.
like a whole bunch of
but y'all should
All
ask.
right, go ahead.
How come sisters make brothers jump through hoops with the wali and the dowry, but will let a non-Muslim she is involved with enjoy himself without that pressure?
That was love.
Wait a minute, say that again.
And I can't answer you talking about.
Wait, one more.
How come sisters make brothers jump through hoops with the wali and the dowry, but will let a non-Muslim man she is involved with enjoy himself without any pressure? What he means by enjoy himself, we talking about shing-a-linging.
Well, then
the shing-a-linging without a dowry.
Well, then you have to ask somebody that does that.
Yeah, because when I don't know.
Let me go in with.
May I say this? And it's not from my own experience because that will just not happen. But I find when women do things like that, it's low self-esteem. It can't be anything other than that.
It could be.
Let me say this.
Like
women, so you're saying because I'm Muslim and I have this Muslim mate, and because I may have fell short on this one, I have, that's between me and my Lord. But then I have this Muslim mate, I shouldn't have the expectation for him to do things Islamically? Because that's what it is. I'm Muslim, you're Muslim, so my expectation for you is higher. Listen with my answer.
I'm going to clarify.
I'm Muslim and I know the question.
No, I'm clarifying.
I'm Muslim and you're Muslim, and my expectation of a Muslim man is higher than a non-believer.
No.
And whatever
That's not what the question is.
But that's the answer.
Let me answer you. Right? What he means by jumping through hoops is meaning fences.
Putting the pressure for a dowry.
No. Men don't have problems paying dowries. We have problems paying excessive dowries. So, and what I mean is this, right? Now, this is not me. I'm just talking about what men feel, right? So, if you guys join any of the Muslim Facebook groups, right, you'll see this argument in every single one of them.
Which is what?
Where you'll see the women will say, my dowry needs to be 5,000, 10,000, 30,000, whatever it is. So from a man's perspective, a man will say, well, how come I have to pay that $5,000 dowry, but you're sleeping with
Jody?
Let me go back to my answer. My expectations of a Muslim man will be higher for my expectations as a non-believer. And a Muslim man doesn't have to give that dowry all at one time.
Hold on.
We do know that.
But why are you messing with somebody that's messing with Jody as well?
Well, that's my. Hold on, let me finish.
Listen. To me, what it is because of a believing system.
Man, I think you got some self-esteem.
You're missing.
May I say this? Maybe because no.
Hold on, you're missing the point. The point is,
First
right?
of all, she was desperate when she was with Jody.
Listen.
If she was Muslim and she was going out with Jody and she know better, she was.
Let me explain something to you. Listen, wait. Don't take this the wrong way. Right? I'm gonna say this, Jesse. If I know this girl is a stripper, right? Say hypothetically, she's Muslim, but she's a stripper. Now this guy Jody get whatever he want. I want to marry her and bring something better. She's telling me I want a $10,000 dowry. Like really?
Then you might want to go somewhere else.
She has been reading, and she should know that you're supposed to do that according to a man's means.
Thank you.
Well, she doesn't understand.
That's what's going on.
Or maybe that the Jody that she was messing with was giving her a $10,000 ring, and that's the
He wasn't doing that.
And maybe she's saying that she don't want to be with the guy.
Y'all want clarification for the person. You gotta understand that sometimes people can't just get up and leave the lifestyle that they used to. So if you want that same person that's used to, you want them to come up to where you are. Now from that practicing Muslim brother, you want to expect no more than less from what you felt as though you're worthy. So if you feel like you're worthy than $5,000 or whatever else the case may be, then he should be able to provide it. That's what he wants you as his partner. Now if Jody can't do that, then that's that. But I don't think that she would have been with Jody if he wasn't providing.
Because it seems to me like the brothers is mad because she wants this $50,000 dowry, but when she's with Joe, you know, because you saying that like, look, you asking for stuff that virgins ask for. You ain't no, you know, you with Jody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, all right. Let me add some clarification here, right? Yeah, because here's what's getting said. Here's what we believe, right? One, and this is not just my opinion. This is amongst many brothers I've had this conversation with. We don't believe that women should be, and we don't think you're doing this, but this is what it ends up being and how it looks to us. We don't think that women should put a price tag on what their worth is. You understand? So if you're saying, hey, listen, my dowry should be X, Y, and Z, right? However, you used to mess with, not even used to, you probably just got done messing with so-and-so. Now we're trying to honor you and put that respect on you, but you're taking me through all these. Hold on. Oh my goodness! Listen, let me get to the point. Right? Like the reality is, right? In our community, we have men who are former drug dealers or, you know, felons or whatever. We have women who are former strippers, and we're trying to put these costumes on and act like we're pious people. We all have baggage, and we're just asking, hey, you want us to accept you how you are. We want you to accept us the way we are. Let's have a little bit more realistic expectations. That's the whole point.
But you're not forced to take her. If she's asking you for that and you can't afford it, then tell her.
Well, we know that, but my thing is this: how do we? Is this the same? This is the same point we're getting to with the polygamy conversation. When we're actually listen. When we're actually trying to fix the community as a whole, it's going to take some effort from everybody.
I got the right to ask my dowry, and you got the right to give it or don't give it.
You're right. You're
and like what
right.
Dia said, it's based on the man's where his abilities are. Now, if I'm doing my intended as a janitor, I'm not asking him for $10,000. But if my intended earns, $80,000 above, I'm asking for $10,000 or above. So it's not what I'm preferably saying. I'm worth 50, 100,000. I'm worth whatever. But and it not be like give me 10,000 cash. It might be I
don't want to work no more.
That might be it. No. That might be it. And that might be her dowry. And if you can do that, then alhamdulillah. If you can't, listen, sister, I can't do that. Walk on. But you can't say because I had a past that I don't deserve what I think of what I'm asking. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. Men have a choice. If they said something that you thought was too much, then say, sister, I think that's too much.
So, all right. So there's a sister on Facebook. I'm not going to say her name. But she's like the relationship expert, right? And if you get amongst these groups, you'll know what I'm talking about. But she's a relationship expert. But she can't stay married, right? But she makes all these conditions and
So why
you know.
listen.
Listen. I'm just saying. What I mean is, she gives advice. Listen. She gives advice.
Yeah, she do have this.
Let me finish. She gives advice to other women and to men on what they should do, what they shouldn't do, how much the dowry should be. Yada. So one of my teachers, he said directly to her, he said, listen, if you want to make, because her argument was the same as yours, sister, and what he said to her was, well, what am I getting for my money? And he wasn't just, listen, I'm going to clarify. He wasn't just saying, he don't mean like,
yeah, that doesn't hurt my feelings.
I don't mean you, I'm not trying to. What I mean is, when he says, what am I getting for money? He don't mean physically.
I know.
He means, are you a Hafiz of Quran? Do you teach my children Quran? What is it I'm getting? Not just cooking, cleaning, things that you probably would expect a woman to do, but are you able to add some type of value to my life and my children's lives? Are you able to give me children? Are you able to curb your attitude? Like, what is it that you're doing? Because when people are coming up with these, like, we know some of the most pious women that have ever existed, and they didn't demand these big exorbitant dowries. They might have took $1 or, and not saying that that's what we want. You know, a person who's going to give what, you know, they think you want to give or that you want. But
so what would you think would be appropriate? What or something?
No, what I think is appropriate. I think whatever the woman asks for is appropriate.
Yeah, because I give a good example. When me and Keelan got married, it was only $500.
I asked you to put out what I got for that.
Sure.
But that was no, the price. No, I'm saying it to say that. I'm saying that to say that if you really love somebody, would you put a price on it?
I get it. It's not that. I think, like you said, it could be $1. You know, you can make whatever concessions you want as a woman. And as a man, you make whatever decision you want to make as a man. But I don't think I can say that any one way is wrong. Everybody has, has the right to make a decision for themselves.
The whole point of the questions are so that when you get an insight into what the men are thinking and why they think this, because, and that's a valid, I hope you guys understand how that looks to a man if he knows, all right, sister,
you had a boyfriend.
Fatima, she been messing around. I know every dude that she messed with. Like, so we've been going to school with each other since elementary school. And I know every dude she's ever messed with. And now she took Shahada. And alhamdulillah, Allah forgives her of her sins. But so why are you? And absolutely. Boy, at the end of the day, if I'm marrying her, well, not me. I'm not saying me. Brother Khalil is marrying her, and he's not bringing it up, but he's like, well, yo, why are you taking me through all this hoopla when you didn't take Jody, so and so, and so?
How do you know? If she's high maintenance, most of the time she is high maintenance. If she's not, I mean, that's the reality too. So you don't really know. How much?
That's valid. That's valid.
If Jody wasn't her husband, it didn't make a difference what he was giving.
Yeah, because he didn't pay nothing.
We gonna get these.
Are men obligated? Listen, y'all gotta listen to the full sentence. Are men obligated to pay for dinner, even though the man didn't want to go out?
Yes.
Of course. It all depends.
If you like, I'm tired.
Well, if I asked him I wanted to go to dinner,
it all depends. If I offer, then I would pay. But if you're saying, if it's your night to cook and you're telling me we gotta go out because you're too tired to cook, then absolutely you're paying for dinner. That's only common courtesy.
I mean, but you came and you ate, even if you didn't want to go. I mean, bring it up. You died.
But it really don't matter because of Islam,
Alright, so should couples split the bills?
Oh, I have done that many a day.
Wait.
Absolutely.
Well, actually, I paid a tip and he paid.
Are we talking household bills?
Like bills in general.
Household bills, not dinner.
So should they split the bills?
No.
They shouldn't split the bills?
I don't know. I've never had that experience.
Okay, the rules say no, but reality says if we want to keep the lights on, let's split the bill.
Right, you pay the rent, I pay the electric.
Alright, this is from anonymous.
Whatever I do now is
this is from
different.
anonymous. This question.
Exactly.
No. Why do women feel it's obligated for a man to tell them where they are going?
I don't think so.
Common courtesy and safety in this crazy world we live. I don't think it's even about being controlled. It's just a matter of sometimes even been where not every step, but you can go for hours and long increments, and you don't know if you're in New Jersey or if you're in West Devitt some days, and then something happens and then you're completely unaware.
Yeah, well, last time I know he was over such and such in that area.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's crazy now.
So it's not, you need to tell me your every move.
Right.
Give me a general, like,
I'll turn around on this.
Get ready to go to the car.
No, it's not your every move, but I mean, like she said, to respecting it. You know what I mean?
Due to the current situation of women today, do women prefer materials or do they prefer love?
Love.
No, which one do you prefer?
Love. Because most women can finance themselves.
Yeah, most women are financing themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not being.
Alright, this is a ruling.
But do men know what love is?
If a woman can if a woman can have a child, would she allow him to have a child with another woman?
Say it again?
If a woman can't have a child.
Oh, so you mean will he get another wife?
Yeah.
Well, that goes back to that story I told you, which was a favorite story of mine, which is Hagar and Sarah, and why we follow Hagar. So, I mean, if that was an issue and that was your husband and he wanted to have children, then yes.
All right, this was from a non-Muslim friend right here. This is funny. He said, "Do women like to be equal as men, or do they want to be more over the man because today it would appear so?"
I think most women
don't have a choice.
I think most of us would
don't have a choice.
What? Don't have a choice for what? Don't have a choice for what, Wadia?
Being over because
I know. We're kind of used to like the single women that have been single for a long time. They're kind of used to running their own household. So
But
the reality of it is, if you do get married, maybe he should move in with you. Maybe you should move in with him, because then it's his house you moved into as opposed to him moving into your house. There's things that you've been doing in your house a certain way for years and years and years.
Oh, that's my closet.
Yeah. So,
Khalil, would you mind repeating that? Because I got a little distracted with them coming in. So I can hear it.
It said, "Why do women be nice in one moment and be mean in the next?"
That wasn't
the question. The question was, do women want to be over them or above them?
Yeah, or over them because today it would appear so. This was the man's perception of the woman.
That
Most
we
of the women
want
he
to
dealt
be
with.
equal.
Do y'all want to be equal or do y'all want to be above the man because it would appear so y'all want to be above the man?
I want to be equal.
What does the law say?
But then that would depend on what's equal.
What does the law say?
We are equal.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
He didn't say that.
Because women are created totally different than men. So can we be equal to men or they can go back?
It's not mental or nothing like that. It's not your brain.
No, nobody said that. I didn't say that.
It's not your brain.
No, Allah says that He didn't create men and women equal. That's the verse we're in.
Well, I mean, of course, it's obvious.
So why we want to be equal?
So I'm saying it's not a point of being equal because, and I'm going to take it here, and I think we discussed this briefly the last time around. This is where sometimes we find ourselves in bad situations because women don't know their roles as women.
So it's reverse
and women
roles
don't know how to support their men in being men. So therefore, to me, are we equal? I don't think so because we play different parts. So I mean,
But you said you wanted to be equal.
No, but it's everybody.
I didn't say that. And if I did, I didn't mean
You did.
to.
I'm
but
sorry.
I
I'm
didn't
sorry.
see it.
All right.
Is
Because
everybody
I don't think we can be equal.
Yeah, we can be.
No.
You can't be, but again, it's not that women want to be above them. Is that like the sister said, for so often in so many households, the women run households. You have women. I know of situations with Muslims, non-Muslims, where the women is she's more or less the breadwinner, and being the breadwinner doesn't make you dominant in the household. So then it goes back to you have to know your position. I may earn more money, but it doesn't mean that I control my husband.
Absolutely.
Now, where is the example in Islam where that was advocated?
with Khadijah and the Prophet
Right.
Muhammad.
So there's nothing wrong with you making more than me.
Just
but
to know
still
your
knowing
position,
your role
support
as
your
a man.
husband. And know your role.
Now the role's been reversed now. Now
But
why y'all think that?
The role's
But you
been
need the
reversed.
roles to be reversed.
Meaning women are starting to believe that they actually are men.
Okay, so
I don't think
Let me say something. I was married for 25 years before I was Muslim, and I was making more than my husband. But that was his house. It was my house. I bought it. But he was the head of the household because I have children as well. How are they going to look up to my husband if I'm the one all the time in charge? I need to have a role model, and by me doing that, alhamdulillah, my sons turned out to be good men because they followed their father. That was his job, to be the head of my household. So I think for every woman here, none of us have played that part of trying to be in charge of the household. Do we have mouth at times? Yes, we do. But trying to be in charge and over our men, I don't think none of us here, we can't answer that.
And if we was in charge, it was because we didn't have no choice but to be in
Right.
because of decisions or because of things that have been thrown into society, right? Men make choices sometimes that makes them, or shall I say, men make choices that sometimes remove them from the household. So when they're removed from the household, that means that woman has to be the mother, the father, the sister, the brother, protector, maintainer, and provider. So if that role has changed, it's sometimes because of the family unit.
The
It's by design.
And I would agree that it is by design, but still in all, being by design or not, if the question was posed, what has made it turn? That's just my take on how it's turned.
All right,
and the
now,
decisions
are
that
you
are
saying
made.
that, right? I'm going to say this. All right, African Americans, 40% of African Americans, black people, males, are incarcerated, right? Women outnumber men 7-1. So for every one man that's married, there's 6 other women that's not married. But y'all know the demographics. Why is polygamy such a big, major problem?
It's not a major problem.
It's not a major problem, but people don't implement it the way it's supposed to be. And then they nigerize the religion. That's the bottom line.
And I'm going to disagree. It is a major problem. And the major problem is this. A brother can tell you straight up from the door, this is what I want, this is what I want to do. Meaning, if he tells you straight up, I want 3 wives, I want 4 wives, this is what it is, whatever the case may be, if he's telling you from the door, we go in as women thinking we're going to change somebody, and the reality is we're not changing anyone. We have to learn to accept people for who they are and where they are.
Right.
So if he's telling you this from the door, don't be crazy 2 years, 3 years down the line because now he has decided to implement this. He told you.
Right.
Don't go in thinking that you're going to change that situation because you're not. He's already told you what he wanted.
And then, so like I said, and like you said, that mindset or that stance doesn't make sense, because if you go into polygamy knowing that you're going to a polygamy marriage, then you're not going to change it. It is what it is, and you got to deal with it. So, like I said, for those who choose to go into it open-minded, then go in there open-minded and open-heartedly. It should not be a problem. I think it's a problem because of our culture.
No, I don't even think it's our culture.
It's our culture.
Our culture don't want to
raised like that. It was not brought in. We were not brought up like that. So now that's the culture, and that's where the jealousy and everything else comes in because we don't know how to handle it.
Let's close out.
That's just it. And then on top of that,